and welcome to the Metropolitan State University Podcast, brought to you by the Marketing and Communications Department. My name is Jake Nadeau, and I'll be your host for this episode. Today, we will be talking to Heather C. Liu, the Director of Student Life and Leadership Development, and Carrie Noble, the Student Organization and Activities Coordinator, about the upcoming Fall Fest, which will be showcasing the 40-plus student organizations and the many opportunities the Student Life and Leadership Development Center has to offer. Thanks for listening. All right, hello. How are you two doing today?
We're doing good. So good. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Fall Fest coming up?
Awesome. So Fall Fest is on September 8th. It's going to be from noon to 4 p.m. on the St. Paul campus in the parking lot, the surface parking lot. And Fall Fest is a family-friendly community event to highlight ways that students, staff, faculty, and community members, as well as local organizations, can get involved with student life and leadership development and Metropolitan State University. It's going to be a pretty fun event. Student organizations are going to be showing up and showing out, demonstrating what they're all about, ways that students can really be involved during their time here at Metro, as well as local organizations are going to be able to share a little bit more about the ways that people can know a little bit more about the East Side community. Mm-hmm. And then this event is put on by the University Activities Board, which Carrie is going to be the new supervisor for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're really excited. There's going to be great food and bounce houses and music and a DJ and some breakdancing.
I heard breakdancing.
I heard breakdancing.
It's going to happen.
That sounds like fun. And so you mentioned local organizations. Why don't you give us a few names that'll be there?
Sure. So we know that Metro Transit is going to be there, and they're going to be highlighting some of the different passes that they have, as well as different changes in the routes, so that if folks are commuters, which we know a lot of Metro students are, they're going to know all the different improvements and different transitions that will be happening with public transportation. We've also reached out to places like Indigenous Roots, which is a cultural organization, arts organization down the street, and a few other local vendors such as Mississippi Market or Sweet Hollow or the Dancing Goat, to invite them to at least table with us and demonstrate what they're about. There's a few other organizations that have signed up, but mostly focusing on folks who want to help students better understand what the East Side community is about.
Yeah, that's great. And how would a student effectively use this event to their advantage?
Great question. You can show up. You can have a good time. I think one of the things that we're trying to do is really just have some fun and set the tone for the fall semester for our new students and our returning students. Checking out all the booths. I think most people will have giveaways or flyers or pamphlets there where you can take some information to fill in your fall calendar with fun events that you want to take part in. Meet some of the student orgs. And find people whose interests connect with your self-interest and orgs you might want to get involved in. And if you don't find anything that calls to you, Student Life will be there to show you how to set up your own student organization. We encourage everybody to join something, start their own. The process is not that hard, and we're here to set you up for success along the way.
Why don't we talk a little more about that? So if a student wants to start their own organization, how would they go about doing that?
So the first thing that someone would do is go on to OrgSync, which is also going to be transitioning to something called Engage. It's going to be a little bit more of a user-friendly interface. And so essentially the way that I talk about OrgSync or Engage, it's like the Facebook of student organizations. And so folks can log in, they can browse the different student organizations that exist or have existed in the past few years, because not every single student organization is going to be at Fall Fest. And so making sure that the organization doesn't already exist. And then if they're interested, so for example, James, if you wanted to start something that was like a podcast club, I don't know, that would be appropriate, right? You would only have to find 7 other people who would be interested, who would want to be part of the organization. You all would take some of the documents that are on OrgSync, which include bylaws, kind of just how you want your organization to run, identify when you would want to meet, and then you would have to find a faculty advisor. So, Carrie or myself would usually step in if you can't find an advisor and help you find someone that would be appropriate. That person kind of helps you with most of the logistics and just group development, team development, leadership development with the students that are involved in the organization. And then you would present your proposal to become a student organization to Student Senate, which meets every other Friday. It's really important that folks ask to be recognized, so you have to make that request. And then from there, once you're approved as a student organization, you would meet with the Student Activities Fees Allocation Committee, which every single student here pays fees for activities. That's part of the experience here. And so SAFAC, or that committee, disperses all of the monies, right? And so you would go and request a certain amount of funds to get all of your organization activities started. And so from there, you would just have to meet regularly. You would probably use OrgSync or Engage to recruit different folks and let people know what's going on. But it's fairly simple. It could probably take up to, a month just to get everything established.
And if a student is thinking about joining an organization, why should they do that? What's the benefits of that?
Yeah, that's a great question. Do you want to start, or do you
Sure.
want me to? Okay.
I think that at a campus like Metro, where most people are commuting, there is this ability to kind of just passively be involved at Metro and go to your classes and get done with them and go home and study, but not build those connections that are available. Student orgs are an easy, low barrier way to connect with other people on campus, to really fill out your experience on campus, to give practical skills and experience to what you're learning in your classes, give you leadership experience to be able to speak to during your time here and after you matriculate. It can just help build out that other side of your curricular education.
Mm-hmm. The only other thing that I could say is, we know that if students are involved and they are connected to resources, they're more likely to either stay at Metro or to graduate, right? And so I think, the other piece is when someone has a faculty advisor or a staff advisor to your student organization, that's a built-in mentorship relationship. And we are people who can help you apply to jobs or practice interviewing, or we have different skills that maybe you have, but we can help enhance. And so I think whether it's being part of a student organization or working at a place like Student Life and Leadership Development, or just coming and hanging out in our computer lab or drinking our coffee or printing things, just finding that place that you can kind of chill or relax or do homework or have study groups. It could be formal or informal ways of getting involved here at Student Life and Leadership Development.
So it helps students build connections, which can lead to other opportunities.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Which it's a beginner step, really, to get going on that. And so what are some of the other student life and leadership development events coming up in this fall?
We have so many.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first, we have a full team for the first time in a minute. So Carrie just joined us as a student organizations and activities coordinator. Christine Yang is going to be our office coordinator. She just started last week as well. And then, of course, we have the same crew from before. And so we have 5 staff members. So first and foremost, yay, that's awesome.
Yay.
We're going to be doing a welcome back event on August 29th from 4 to 6 p.m. Most of our events, we're trying to keep it from that 4 to 6 range, because we know that's in between classes for folks. So maybe it's right after work, or you're going to your 6 p.m. class and you just need to get like a quick, bite to eat, or you just want to say hello. We just want to try to make all of our events as accessible as possible. We also have Fall Fest on September 8th, and then after that, we'll be doing a few different kinds of activities, leadership workshops. We have 1-hour leadership workshops every single month for folks to attend and learn a little bit more about what is leadership, how do they understand leadership, how can you hone leadership. And then once we get to October, we have our fall retreat from the 19th to the 21st, and it's going to be at Camp Courage. And so that's really an in-depth, reflection for self, and then also to develop community around what is a leader, how can one be a leader who focuses on community as well as justice and identity and diversity, especially being at an institution like Metro State where we focus a lot on anti-racism. We have a whole bunch more events, but to check them out, I would say check out OrgSync at Metropolitan State University. Our calendar is up to date. We're taking RSVPs for all of our events. UAB is going to be doing some fun stuff, including a UAB Halloween. And so we're already planning our Halloween costumes, and so get ready. I think it's going to be a really fun semester at Metro State.
Absolutely.
Why don't we touch real quick on what the UAB is, which is the University Activity Board, correct?
Well, the University Activity Board is a group of students who are working within SLLD and representing the student body in forming, university-wide events and activities, supporting student orgs. What else is UAB doing?
Yeah, so they've planned Fall Fest. Winter Fest is something new that happens in the spring. We're having University Activities Board, or UAB, work very closely with Carrie. Carrie's the supervisor and the advisor, so it's kind of this dual relationship, and putting on at least one event per month. So there's going to be some different socials, or we're doing at the end of the semester kind of a self-care study zone, and UAB is going to help support that process and have kind of care packages and or doing things like random acts of kindness and gratitude that we're doing after people get back from fall break, because I know that sometimes whatever people do over that time, either they're getting ready for finals, or they have that big paper, or it's just a really stressful time because maybe some folks who have families were around a really stressful family event. So being able to come back and feel a sense of belonging, they're able to kind of foster that community building on campus. They're also a shared governance organization, and so that means that, yes, they are a student organization, but then they are also part of student life, and so they have this dual role, like what Carrie said. If folks are interested in doing some event planning and or want to build community and build their resume in that way, we are hiring for University Activities Board members, and so that information should be going out later this week, so early September. So if folks are interested, we hire 4 to 6 students, and so that's another way to get involved here at Metro State.
Alrighty, lots of opportunities here at the Student Center. Well, Heather and Carrie, I want to thank you for letting me come in and chit-chat with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us. And just extending the invitation, we've got a wonderful space up here with computers and plants and games, and so love everybody to stop by and hang out with us. We're open from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Every weekday.
Yep, and we're in Student Center 204, so come on by.
I would like to thank Heather and Carrie for being a part of this episode. If you have any more questions, head on over to metropolitanstateuniversity.edu. Thanks for listening.